My name is JT, and this is a story about how I built my homestead.
Alright guys, welcome back here to another episode of JT Time. JT here. What's on the agenda today? I would say we are trying to accomplish two things. The first thing is I want to paint more of the soffits, of course. This is like the caulking episodes, but slowly but surely I'll slowly knock out this scope. We do have the paint here that I have. This paint's actually pretty expensive, the Sherwin-Williams brand. So I'm gonna try to find a more affordable route, especially since this is just soffit stuff anyways on the outside, and you know, I don't know if it's worth the money to spend something higher end like this. So I'm gonna try to find a more reasonable price to go with. And the next thing, because this is my last gallon, and I didn't buy enough, so I need to go out and buy some more. So I might buy one of those 5-gallon buckets and see if that gets me through most of the rest of the house, at least the trim and soffits. But I also have a pork shoulder here, or sometimes people call these pork butts. Don't know why they call them pork butts, but they're the shoulder part of the pork. But we do have the fire going. I'm using my typical setup now, just because it's quicker. It's quick and easy. It's the electric starter, because I don't like to use any kind of fuel starter or anything like that. I got the fan going. When it starts combusting into fire like this, if I take this out, it's not hot enough inside, I've noticed, to continue the fire going. So I just like to stick this in and just keep it there pretty much until I get good amount of charcoal in this area. And once I get good charcoal on these 3 pieces of logs, then I can go in and pretty much finish the rest of them with just regular logs going inside the actual fire bucket. Now you see my wood, I've used a lot of it already, so I might actually have to go out to my wood guy and pick up some more wood next time I want to smoke or something, because I think I'm going to use all that for the shoulder, the pork shoulder. It takes probably about 8 hours, and I go through about 2 logs every hour. So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty low on wood after I'm done with this particular smoke, at least. And I'm gonna try some things different this time, because my wife and daughter are going to the farmers market this morning, and I'd like to go and hang out with them for a little bit. At least we're over here at the house pretty early in the morning. It's about a little before 7 o'clock, and I want to go and hang out with them. But to do that though, I need the fire to burn slower. So what I'm going to do to try to make the fire burn slower is I'm going to choke off the flame, which isn't what I typically recommend. You know, you could get a more soury kind of meat flavor. Sour kind of smoke flavor is probably the best way to describe it. But you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I don't have anybody here watching the fire like every minute essentially. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna try it at the beginning of the smoke actually, so that I can kind of hone in on where to have the intake vent close to and where to have the exhaust vent close to. Because if you close off the exhaust, normally I just close off the intake and I just leave the exhaust fully open and just kind of free flowing out the air. But I know if I close the intake and I close the exhaust, I'm going to end up slowing down the fire and slowing down the charcoal burning down a little bit more. So so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna run the video for the first part like I did last time, but with the new technique that I have, which is like the way you would paint a ceiling essentially, and show you guys how much easier it is for me to actually run through the soffits in this house. So I will show you what it looks like now. It looks really good actually. Like I barely need to touch this up at all, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm definitely probably gonna use this technique for the rest of it. I'm not gonna do this side right here because this side has the recess can, I guess, housing. So that's going to cause me to like have a little bit of delays, and I don't know when my wife's gonna call me to go to the farmer's market, so I don't know how much time I have over here. So I'm actually gonna go and head to the back right side of the house, which is right here. And this has a nice long stretch. So I'm gonna knock out this entire side right here and take it all the way down to the bottom. I mean, I could actually just roll over those boxes because they're not gonna see the boxes anyways. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll over those boxes with paint. So yeah, I'm gonna knock out this side and we'll see how it goes. The one thing you have to be careful for when you're doing a roller is the roller has a tendency to splatter. I think you saw it in my last video. I had paint all over my face by the end of it. So I do wear glasses, and you do have to be aware that your windows might get paint on them, which I did get some moments of paint on my windows. My doors right here, I got a little bit of paint here, but this glass, I guess border or framing of it is actually inlaid between the two pans of glass. So that's nice because I can just take a little scraper and scrape that off right away. So I'm not too worried about that. And same thing with the casement style. There's nothing there to make it hard for me to just scrape off the window. So I'm not too worried about it. And you know, always work smarter, not harder, right? For my videos, you're probably thinking, man, this guy works too much. But you know, it's a learning process. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm gonna finish getting my fire ready here at the barbecue before I actually get started on painting. That way I can get the meat on the grill, because that's gonna be critical path. I already know it. We got 8 hours to cook in. We're at 7 o'clock, so that means I'm not gonna be finishing until like 3, maybe 4 p.m. and that's gonna suck. So I'm cooking this based on time. It's 5 hours on the grill. After 5 hours, I'll wrap it up with some paper, probably double wrap, so that I can trap some of the drippings. And 3 hours after that. So it's the same way that I would cook ribs. Ribs are based on time too. 2 hours on the grill, 2 hours wrapped. So it's not too hard, to be honest. And pork shoulder, it's a cheap cut of meat. This one we got at our farmer, and there's not much trimming that you really need to do with a pork shoulder. Here, let me actually set this up, and I'll get back to you guys real soon. Okay? All right, guys. So here's the pork shoulder. There's not really a fat cap on it, but this is the side that I usually want to cook up when I do my smoke. And if you look at the bottom, it's mainly just meat. So I'm really not going to do very much trimming on this. I'm actually just going to probably open it up, sprinkle a little bit of seasoning on it. It's just salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of paprika for coloring, not really for taste. And throw it on the grill. Really, there's not. Pork shoulder's easy. Like I would say, if you want to start barbecuing, do ribs or do pork shoulder, because it's not as much time commitment, and it's a little bit more forgiving when you mess up. As long as you keep your temperatures right, you shouldn't have a problem. So that's pretty much it. Let me I don't know if this fire is gonna finish in time, at least for me to go ahead and wait for it. I think I can maybe start doing some painting before I commit to jumping over here. Yeah, that may give me a little bit of time. Yeah, let's do that. Sorry, not organized. Yeah, so let me knock that out. I will have a thermometer in my grill. I'm cooking it at 275, so just the same way you cook your brisket, ribs. You really don't change your temperature very much unless you're doing poultry or fish. I'll do another video that's smoking fish. Fish is really awesome to smoke. I definitely recommend giving it a shot if you've never tried it. A lot of deep sea fishermen, I go deep sea as much as I can. It's not as much anymore, but you catch mackerel, and I never know what to do with mackerel, so I try to smoke it, and man, it is amazing. You should definitely give that a shot if you haven't tried that. So let me get to it and see where I get. All right, I'll see you guys real soon. All right guys, here we are. So let me go ahead and get started on this side. The fire's going already. We're about barely starting to cook right now, so I'm not even going to set my timer yet until the temperature of the grill gets up to temperature. It's probably like about 150 right now, but it'll get up there. Just give it a little time. But while it's doing that, let me go ahead and see if I can knock out this little bit right here. All right. All right, so pretty much I do one coat, I let it dry, and then I go on with a second coat. But the first coat does a pretty good job of kind of covering up the original yellow primer that's on this hardy board. So I'm just gonna keep moving down and catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right. All right guys, so this worked out pretty well. I'm back. I did go to the farmer's market. I probably stayed out for maybe a little over an hour, and I'll show you what I did with the smoker. That kind of worked out really well. I loaded it up with wood, probably like maybe 4 or 5 logs, and I cracked the vent, and you can see it's about maybe halfway cracked, and then I cracked the intake about halfway as well. And I came back and it was a perfect 275. I don't know if it stayed 275 the entire time, but I'm pretty happy with that. My biggest worry was that I'd be out of charcoal by the time I got here, so we still had some left, so I tossed in 2 more logs and we're good to go. So I'm not too worried about that. I'll pretty much move on to just continuing to paint the house right now, and we'll see how much of this we get through. Let's see here, we're about 2 hours into the cook, so we got 6 hours left over here, so maybe a long day for me, but I'll try to avoid the sun as much as I can. You can see where the sun is at right now. You can see the line there and the roof right there. So fortunately I'm working on the front side of the house now, so let's see what I get through. But I'll catch you guys here maybe about an hour for a quick update. All right, see y'all soon. All right guys, so it's about 11:30 now, and I think it's time for an update. Let me show y'all what we did and give you kind of a breakdown of kind of what I have left to do for this house for today at least. I think we're about 3 or 4 hours into the cook now. 11:30, so about 3 hours into the cook. I got 2 more hours before I wrap it with butcher paper, but let me go ahead and show you the house. I finished this whole soffit. And bear in mind that I did go to the farmer's market today, so I lost maybe about an hour of work going there and also going to the local home improvement store to pick up the additional paint that I needed. But I finished that. I finished the soffit here for the double gable. I finished the soffit there, the additional double gable. I did some of the border and trim right there just because I was up on the ladder already. I was like, I might as well just knock that out now and put the first coat on at least. I did a little bit of the trim down there just with leftover paint that I had. I'm gonna go back around the house with the ladder and a paintbrush and my smaller roller to cover up the trim, at least the first coat soon. But I finished this soffit as well, knocked out this part as well, down this line, and this is kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm pretty much almost done with the soffit, which is awesome. I mean, this technique has been amazing. I really wish I would have done it at the beginning like this, but you know, it's okay. That's part of learning, and I'm okay with that. So, you know, I am happy with it so far. All this does need a second coat, so I'm not done with it yet, but once I get the second coat on there, I'm probably going to be happy with the way it looks, and I don't need to touch it up anymore, and I just need to do trim work after that, which is awesome. That's like a good amount of scope that I just finished there. So let's see what the next hour brings. I've already ate my lunch, but I'm trying to stay as hydrated as I can. It's very hot out here. So you can see I'm working in the shaded area a lot just to kind of keep myself from getting heat stroke, right? But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next update, maybe around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. We'll see. And oh man, I'll be out here for a good amount of time. I got like maybe 5 hours left, 4 or 5 hours left, because of the pork shoulder, which is going to be my critical path, which I already knew. So all right, see you guys in a little bit. Whew, I am tired. It's 1 o'clock right now. Just trying to give you guys a quick update on the status of how I'm doing. I did finish all of the soffits. I'm going back with a second coat right now, so I'm just gonna finish up. So I've knocked out all of this second coat already. Knocked down here. This is probably like the third coat on this side, but it doesn't matter. The new paint that I bought, that's a little bit more affordable. It actually is a slightly different tone and color, so I'm gonna go ahead and just go over it with the final coat with that color, and that way it's all the same color. That does mean I have to redo all my trims, but that's okay. This paint, actually, I've noticed that it's oil based. The other one I believe was oil based too, but it was a little bit different. I'll have to look it up a little bit more to understand exactly how it's different kind of oil based paint. But this one takes a little longer to dry, but the upside is that it actually covers a lot better than the other one did. So I can actually probably get away with 1 coat of this stuff, but I'm not going to do 1 coat. I got 5 gallons of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 coats of it everywhere, and that way it's all the same color, and then I can start really working the trim and everything like that. But let me show you the more interesting stuff. It's the pork shoulder. It's been about 5 hours now. So you can see I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's right about 286 right now. This is kind of where my vent is opened at. And then my intake on the other side, you can see kind of how it's open too as well. It's about halfway on the intake and about 3/4 of the way on the exhaust. So this is what the shoulder looks like right now. It has a nice kind of bark on there for sure, which is really nice. I'm happy about that. I think it's ready to be wrapped for sure. So let's go ahead and wrap it, and then we'll put it back in here and finish it off for the next maybe 3 hours or so, which puts me leaving here about 4 o'clock. So we are getting into the miserable part of the day, so I'm going to be working around shaded areas as much as I can. But we'll see how it goes. I might just end up relaxing for the last part of it, but I'm hoping that I can at least make it around the entire house with the second coat. I did manage to get all the way down to the very end of this strip, so I think I can make it all the way around to the end of the house with 2 coats. That way next time I'm here, I can actually work on just the trim and the window borders and all of that. So looking forward to it. Let me go ahead and wrap that pork shoulder up, and I'll see you guys here maybe about an hour and a half. All right guys, we're at the end of the day. It's 3:30. We're 7 hours into the cook. I couldn't go the full 8 hours. I'm just too tired, and it's too hot out here for me to keep working. And I really want to just go home and see the family. So let me update you guys on what I did. I did a second coat of the soffits, so the soffits are officially done. I will not be touching them again, so I'm happy about that. I got a lot done today, to be honest. I was surprised. I just got into a rhythm and just kept going, pretty much. But they all look good. I'm happy with the coat that's on there, and I can't even see the primer, so I'm really happy about that. The smoke for the port shoulder, I don't know how that's gonna look. I'm gonna have to update you when I get home, because I'm gonna let it rest for now. But pretty much, I'm hoping that it comes out good. I mean, it's a small piece. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Smoker's still going. Still got some charcoals in there, so I'm not too worried about that. And then this is it, you know? It's not too big, but definitely hopefully worth it when I get home and I get to taste it with some tacos or something. But let's go ahead and head home. I'm tired. Again, you're probably tired of me saying that I'm tired. So, so I'll catch up with y'all real soon when I get home, okay? Alright guys, here we are. Here's the final product. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and tear a little piece off here. That's very good. I'm happy with that. So, I'll catch y'all next time on JT time. See y'all real soon here on JT time. Cheers.